Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings. This extremely handsome but not visible fella is your host, Bill Miller. All right, we are looking at a vintage science fiction calendar from 2025. And the cover art for the month of December, as well as the calendar itself, was created by Alan Anderson, a pulp and comic book artist from the Golden Age. I thought this would be a great opportunity to take a little bit of a dive in to the life of Alan Anderson, and along the way, take a sneak peek at some of the wonderful artistic covers that he created. Alan Gustav Anderson was born January 31st, 1908, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His father was John Bernard Anderson, born in 1884 in Pennsylvania, of Swedish ancestry. His mother was Anna M. Lewis, born in 1887 in Connecticut, of German ancestry. He was the younger of two sons. His older brother, Richard, was born in 1906. They lived at 2639 Upton Avenue in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His father was a professional cook at a prominent local hotel, the Radisson, which grew to become a corporate hotel chain. Alan studied correspondence art courses at the Federal Schools Incorporated of Minneapolis and received his certificate in 1928. He worked as a staff artist at Fawcett Publications in Minneapolis from 1929 to 1939, where he met Carl Bettner, Ralph Carlson, and his lifelong best friend, Norman Saunders. Anderson's early painting style was strongly influenced by Saunders, but he soon developed his own distinctive style. At Fawcett, he primarily worked on the Planet stories, the pulp companion to Planet Comics. He also created some covers for Jungle Comics' companion title, Jungle Stories. He moved to New York City in 1940 and painted covers for pulp magazines published by Ace Magazines, Fiction House, Harry Donenfeld, and Martin Goodman. He joined the Navy when the U.S. entered World War II, where he taught sign painting at a naval training camp in upstate New York. On leaving the Navy, he returned to the pulp magazines, but also did work for comic book companies, mainly Ziff Davis. His comic work was primarily between 1949 and 1953. He created some pre-code comic book covers for the Nightmare, Eerie Adventures, and Weird Thrillers titles. He also created several covers for science fiction comic books, including Crusader from Mars, and perhaps his most famous comic book cover, issue number 4 of Amazing Adventures. He married his first wife, Aline, in 1942. He divorced Aline after the war and resumed his freelance career painting pulp covers. Anderson's covers after World War II often featured more spirited female protagonists, or in some cases, antagonists. From 1950, Most of his Planet Stories covers either have a woman holding center stage or sharing it on equal footing with the hero. In addition to Planet Stories and Jungle Stories, he created pulp covers for Spicy Detective, Headquarters Detective, Spicy Western Stories, Detective Book Magazine, Body or Soul, Speed Adventure Stories, 2 complete science adventure books. Now that's not a description, I guess it is, but it's the title as well. Crime Detective, Private Detective Stories, Lariat, Western Yarns, Hollywood Detective, Super Detective, Speed Detective, Speed Mystery, Indian Stories, Action Stories, and Spicy Adventure Stories, among others. Anderson's artwork was visually stunning, clean, dynamic, and thrilling, and usually centered on glamorous women. However, in the early 1940s, when he was mainly working for crime pulps, his female characters tended to be damsels in distress, or often featured women in more vulnerable poses. He failed to find any interest in a syndicated comic strip and animated series that he designed named Pinky Pete. It was based on a character like Tom Thumb, who lived in the Wild West. In 1953, Anderson married his second wife, Joan, and moved to Tilson, New York, to open a small ad agency and become a sign painter. Alan Anderson passed from heart failure at age 87 on October 23, 1995. A loss for all of us, as he was an immensely talented and all but forgotten artist. That will do it for our brief look into the life and work of Alan Anderson. I hope you enjoyed seeing that, and if you did, I would encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted as soon as I release new content. Thumbs up and comments are always appreciated. And remember, we're taking over the world one pulp at a time.